What's up out there? How you doing? Jeff D, FCBizSolutions.com, Mass Professional Networking, Little Roadie Professional Networking for your events and happenings for February 2026. Yes, we're already the second month of the year. So what I'll do first today is go over some of our events in February, and then we will go over a great networking tip, why networking is not like dating. So let's get going with the events. So we have a bunch of events within 8 days, 8 or 9 days this month. February is a shorter month. So I'm going to kick it all off on February 10th. This is our first Little Roadie professional networking event, Little Roadie on the Road. Road, that's spelled RHODE. So this is a program that Mike Merlin and I are starting with Stephanie Ortiz to promote small businesses in Rhode Island. So our first one is February 10th at Aura Chocolate Bar in Cranston, Rhode Island. You'll see the links later here in the post to register for that. Right the next day, on February 11th, we will be up here in Natick, Massachusetts at Bossy Pickle Dome, the pickleball place, and the pizza restaurant, which is downstairs. That's where we'll be on February 11th for Mass Professional Networking in the Metro West. And then the following week, on the 17th, we will be at XO Bar in Providence. Think about Valentine's Day, and that's a little bit what we'll be talking about in a minute or so about networking, right? Dating. So XO Bar in Providence on February 17th. And then the very next night, we'll be back in Boston, right? The home base at West End Johnny's for our Mass Professional Networking on February 18th. Like I said, I'll put the links in the chat, in the description here for all these events for you to register. Now, you can register as an attendee. You can also register as an attendee with a digital business assessment for your business. What I think it's invaluable for anyone that has a small business. And then, of course, we're looking for vendors. Great place to showcase your product or services. You get a lot of exposure to our thousands of members through social media as well as the event. All right, so let's go over why networking is like dating. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. We had an event recently, and this gentleman was going around just giving out his business cards like they were cards at a casino, right? Not even asking questions about who they're talking to, anything like that. Now, you just picture this. If you're at a bar and somebody goes up to you and says, let's get married now. No, 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 not next week. We're getting married now. We're going to Vegas. We're going to City Hall. We're getting married now. Now, would you freak out? I don't know about you, but I would freak out, right? So that is absolutely not the way to network, right? So networking is widely considered compared to dating because both networking and dating involve building authentic long-term relationships through trust, mutual benefit, and gradual rapport, rather than aggressive selling. Aggressive selling does not work at networking events. People do not like that, right? You want authenticity over selling. You should find a mutual fit and build trust, right? The approach, right? Similar to dating. Just like I said, if I went up to you and said, hey, let's date, or I kiss you, or whatever, you'll be like, whoa, Jeff, back off, right? It's the same thing with networking. You don't want to be so aggressive with your approach because that just does not work. You have to realize that networking is a gradual commitment, right? You're not going to be asking for favors immediately. You're not going to be asked for a job immediately. You're not going to ask somebody out immediately. So think about that comparison there. You want to have gradual commitment, a long-term commitment for the first, and you try to score that first date, right? You also want to follow up, a polite follow-up. Now, if you ask somebody on a date, they say no, don't be aggressive after that, right? You want to, you want to work them. You want them to build trust in you, and eventually that may happen. I've seen so many stories in the dating world where, couples were friends for 2 years before they actually dated. And the same thing goes with networking. It may take 1 to 2 to 3 years to build that trust with someone to do business with them. And of course, last but not least, it's the professionalism of it. Remember, you're at a networking event. This is a professional environment. You want to maintain your best side, right? You also, last but not least, but you want to have a business profile, your LinkedIn profile, that's sharp, that really describes you as a great resource to others. Just like a dating profile. You want your dating profile to look right, great. It's truthful. It's you. It's your story, and your network, your LinkedIn profile should be your story. So hopefully that helps you out. Remember, networking is like dating. We've talked about some events. You can try out some dating techniques at our upcoming events. All right, have a good day. Jeff D, AMCBizSolutions.com, Mass Professional Networking.